Welcome back, guys, to the weekly Go Battle League YouTube short compilation video. And of course, in these videos we always go over all the shorts that I have uploaded throughout the week and then just compress them into one video for one smooth viewing experience. If you enjoy this content, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay informed of when we drop new videos. Enjoy. But before that, they launch a Poison Fang and then go down. In comes the Pelipper, so we're just gonna go ahead and fire off as many foul plays as we can before we get taken out here, because of course we just have to deal with the Pelipper and then finish off the Shift Tree in the back. They're gonna go ahead and go for another Weather Ball spam. We're gonna fire off one more foul play here. There we go. They shield. And then in comes our Victory Bell. They're going to go ahead and go for a Hurricane. Down goes the Victory Bell. In comes my Mawile. We're going to go for a Power Up Punch and then farm down as much as we can after we fire a second Power Up Punch here. There we go. Down goes that. In comes Pelipper. We finish it off and be going up against Big Sean. It's a Abomasnow leading against a Bastiodon. Not the best lead, but we're just going to try to work with it. So we're going to go ahead and fire off a Energy Ball here. Deal like a third of its damage. And then just straight up sacrifice the Abomasnow so that we can safe swap. So yep, they're going to go ahead and bring in a Medicham. And thankfully we went ahead and sacrificed the Abomasnow for this, because then we can safely swap into a Lugia, go for a Shadow Sky Attack, takes out like almost all the health, knocks it out. And then we're going to surprise them here with a Shadow Hydro Pump, and then that takes out the Bastiodon. In comes the Skarmory. Now we just have to finish off the Medicham now. We're just going to go ahead and Power Up Punch 1. And then go ahead and go for Power Up Punch 2. And they're going to go ahead and let us take out a third one. And then now next up, they're going to finally launch their first Sky Attack. That goes through. We win. Here's going to be a fun one. We're going to use an anti-meta team to take out a meta cliche meta team. So it's Frostlass going up against a Stunfisk. We fire off an Avalanche. They fire off a Rock Slide. None of us shield. They shield. They go for Rock Slide 2, I shield it, and then go for Avalanche. And then here we're going to go ahead and let Frostlass go down so that we can safely bring in Tyranitar and farm it down. And then after that, we switch to a Whimsicott just to catch, and then in comes Medicham. So they're going to go ahead and fire off a Power Up Punch. We don't let the shields go through because we just mainly need to keep this Tyranitar in play. So they're going to go for another Power Up Punch. We have a sliver of health. In comes a Azumarill. We're going to go ahead and go for a Grass Knot. They shield it, and then we're going to follow that up with a Stone Edge. Tyranitar is going to go ahead and shield this Ice Beam, and then we're going to take out the Stunfisk because it tried to catch, and then finish off a Crunch and Shadow Mawile leading against a Shadow Swampert. And then after that, we're just going to follow up with a Mandibuzz catching Hydro Cannon. They're going to bring in a Ferrothorn. I'm predicting a very obvious Thunder, but we're going to try to sacrifice Mandibuzz because we don't really want to waste any shields on a tanky Pokemon. So we're going to go ahead and spam foul plays here, see if we can get one more. Actually, I think I might shield here just to make sure that I can win the switch advantage and try to get them to burn a shield. That, and so that we're not wasting any charge moves. After that, we bring in Mawile, but preserve the Mandibuzz, and then, yeah, we take out the Ferrothorn. In comes the Swampert. They fire off a Hydro Cannon on my Mawile. We let it go down because we're going to bring in Victory Bell, and then they think, oh crap, that Victory Bell is going to wreck my Swampert. So they bring in Medicham, use an Ice Punch. We're going to charge up toward an Acid Spray. They're going to shield it. Then we bring in Mandibuzz to catch this Ice Punch, and then that's the game-winning play. And they be Ninetales against Abomasnow. They swap out to Nidoqueen, so I'm going to bring in my Shadow Hypno, and they're going to go ahead and just keep taking this Confusion spam. I don't even know why they swapped out. They should have just kept the Abomasnow, and they could just like spam Energy Ball or something instead of getting their Nidoqueen locked in with the Hypno. So we're just going to have Fire Punches ready to fire off here. We use the first one and then launch the second one. They let it go through. In comes the Ferrothorn. So we're gonna just swap in the Ninetales because we want to try to preserve the Meganium in the back, especially since I had a feeling that like we wouldn't need Ninetales for the rest of this battle. So they're gonna go ahead and go for a Mirror Shot. Does like tickle damage to the Meganium. After that, they're gonna go for yet another Mirror Shot. We're going to have Meganium catch the Weather Ball Ice. Hypno comes in, finish off the Abomasnow, and then we launch an Earthquake onto the Ferrothorn. It's going to be going up against Anchovy. Anyway, it's Hypno versus Trevenant. Not the best lead on my part, but it's still somewhat neutral because we can take each other out if either one of us plays smart. So we're going to go ahead and catch this Shadow Ball, and then after that, we're going to fire off nothing because we just let Hypno go down. In comes Meganium. They fire off an Ice Beam. In comes Stunfisk. We're going to go ahead and shield this rock slide because we want to try to preserve the Ninetales in the back. And now we just go ahead and eat enough, try to shield this other rock slide, go for an earthquake to see if they shield it, and then charge up just a little bit. After that, in comes the Ninetales, and then they bring back the Azumarill. So we're just going to go ahead and go fire off a Side Shock here. They're going to go follow that up with an Ice Beam. Down goes Ninetales. In comes Meganium. We're going to go ahead and farm it down and then have an Earthquake ready to go for the win. It's going to be a Nidoqueen versus Swampert matchup here. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Poison Fang here, and then after that, they're going to just keep farming up. They have a Hydro Cannon ready to go, but instead I'm going to bring in my Registeel. In comes their Scizor, and we're going to go ahead and fire off a Zap Cannon. They're going to shield the first one. After that, we're going to go ahead and eat their Night Slash, go for another Zap Cannon here right after we shield this Night Slash, just because we need to be able to handle that, survive. So yeah, in comes the Swampert, and then this is where it starts to penalize them because he got a little cocky and then started over farming with the energy on the Swampert because they think that they got me. Anyway, they go for the foul play. We go for the Poison Fang here. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and bring in the Sableye. Now that theirs has a -1 defense, we're going to farm down. And after that, we're going to follow it up with a return, and then we win. Magcargo starting up against a Greedent. I think this is one of the first matches for Retro Cup that I'm actually sharing. So with this one, they're going to go ahead and go for the first Crunch. We're going to tank it, no problem. And then they're going to follow it up with another Crunch. We're starting to go into the yellow. We're going to fire off an Overheat here and see if they... actually, it's a Rock Tomb. Never mind. So we get the attack stat drop. We're going to shield this Crunch. Yes, I should have shielded the first Crunch. I would have had a better advantage here, but deal with it. We did it this way. Rage in the comments. Anyway, now that the Greedent's down, we're going to fire off an Overheat and then try to go for another one, but we just couldn't do it. Again, if I shielded the first Crunch, then that would have been a different story probably. Could have fired off another Overheat before we went down. But anyway, Venusaur comes in. We use the Sludge Bomb. They take it because they have no shields left. They're going to go ahead and go for a Lunge or something like that. And then in comes their Crobat. We eat the Shadow Ball, and then after that, we're going to go ahead and bring in Venusaur, go for a Sludge Bomb. Nidoqueen leading against a Scrafty here. Let's see, we're just going to go ahead and go for the Poison Fang on the opener, just weaken them, and then they're going to switch over to Talonflame. Kind of strange that they swapped, but hey, that's them. So anyway, we're just going to go ahead and shield the Flame Charge, and then after that, they're going to go ahead and go for another Flame Charge. We're going to farm down here, have a decently charged Sableye ready to go on the swap. In comes the Scrafty. We go for a return, take him out with the return, and then, oh my goodness, it's a Bastiodon. So we're going to have to do our best here. They don't know I have a Registeel in the back, so we're kind of working with it. And then we bring in the Registeel to trick them into using Flamethrower. They catch it. We fire off a Poison Fang here. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and farm him down the rest of the way because we pretty much got him. The Nidoqueen soaked a Flamethrower, which puts us in a nice health advantage. So we're just going to show off some sick lock-on DPS. We're going to farm it down. Alright, it's going to be Muck leading against the Talonflame. We're just going to go ahead and farm up towards a Thunder Punch, but then go for Acid Spray because we're anticipating a Thunder Punch shield, and then there it is. Talonflame's going to go ahead and go for Flame Charge. We're going to shield it and then swap out because we want to preserve the Muck for anything in the back. And then, of course, there is my Shadow, Alolan, Eradicate with Bite, Crunch, and Hyper Fang. Let's see, it's going up against Politoed. We're going to shield the second Weather Ball. We didn't shield the first one because obviously it's not going to take us out. We go for the Crunch. It does nearly take it out, and then we finish it off with a Bite. In comes the Talonflame. We're just going to go ahead and let Eradicate go down because we have no shields left and we don't really need to be on this. We farm down the Talonflame, and then in comes a Walrein. We're going to go ahead and go for another Acid Spray here. And then we're just going to go ahead and chip away at it because we have Shadow Victory Bell in the back to finish up. So there's a Icicle Spear, and then we bring in... It's going to be a stupid close battle. So it's a Shadow Hypno versus a regular Hypno. We're going to go ahead and charge up towards a Shadow Ball. They go for the Ice Punch, and I'm just like, oh, okay. I guess they're just going to charge straight towards the Ice Punch and then just roll with it. Anyway, they go for another Ice Punch. We're just going to farm down after we obviously get our Shadow Ball launched. And then in comes the Lapras. We're going to go ahead and go for another Fire Punch here. And then after that, so we're going to bring it to a third of its health. We bring in the Muck. They're going to go for the Surf. We followed up with a Shield on the second Surf after letting them farm up a little bit. In comes Nidoqueen, so we're going to go ahead and fire off an Acid Spray and then bring in Lugia. So that Lugia can just farm it down with a -2 defense. We go for the Sky Attack. They're going to shield it and then farm it down the rest of the way at Dragon Tail. We eat a Poison Fang, but then we go down. The After that, the Nidoqueen has a little bit of health left to get a Poison Fang down. In comes the Lapras. Nidoqueen, we get a Thunder Punch, and we win with a fun one. We get to see them Rage Quit at the very end. Anyway, it's going to be Hypno leading against the Castform. We can just keep farming up with Confusion, go for Ice Punches. We shield the first move because it's an Energy Ball, and I had a feeling that they were going to go with Energy Ball because they wanted to lead with the hard-hitting move first. I just got the vibe. I don't know why. And anyway, we go for the Shadow Ball on the switch in. They shield with the Medicham on the Shadow Ball. They go for an Ice Punch, finish off the Hypno. In comes Lugia. We charge up towards the Sky Attack just to read what they're going to do. They go for Ice Punch. They stay in, so we decide to go for the Sky Attack and then farm up as much as we can. And then after that, we bring in our Muck here. We go for the Acid Spray, and then now we have Muck fulfilling its one job, so we can have it get taken out with Sky Attack. Altaria is -2, so we farm down with Dragon Tail. We have 1 shield, so after that, we're going to go ahead and shield this Ice Punch, followed up with a Sky Attack, and there we go. And then there's the pause showing that the heads up, this is going to be a loss, but at the same time, I have to document this because, I mean, what the crap, Niantic, what the crap. Anyway, Hypno versus Medicham lead, they swap out because, for whatever reason, they have a disadvantage. They probably had a Power Punch and a Psychic Medicham. So they swap out, they go for the Shadow Ball. I'm putting the red. I followed up with my Shadow Ball. Do they shield it? The answer is yes. So we're both shielding. I go into a Lugia. We farm down the Hypno with Dragon Tail. In comes the Frostlass. And then after that, we go for a Sky Attack and we crash. I'm just like, what the crap? So I can't even finish this match here because Niantic just decided, hey, let's have a game that can't even hold a Go Battle League battle. So we load back up, and then after that, we're back into the battle. Some time has passed. I obviously edited out the waiting time, and then we're starting to wait, and then I'm back in with my Muck nearly in the red, my Hypno in the red, and then the Frostlass up. So again, up against Rodrigo, it's going to be Hypno leading against an Altaria. Since I have Ice Punch and they don't see it coming, we're just going to go ahead and go straight for it. They go for the Sky Attack. I'm going to follow it up with an Ice Punch. Are they going to shield? No, look at that. It almost knocked it out. So in comes a Sceptile. We're going to go for another Ice Punch. Now that they know it's coming, they're going to shield it. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Lugia afterwards. They go for the Dragon Claw, and I'm just going to go ahead and farm down the Sceptile because it's going to be very squishy compared to Sceptile versus a Dragon Tail. So it goes down. We have a Sky Attack ready to go on the switch in, and then it's going to be, I didn't really see that. Sky Attack against the Tentacruel. Down goes that. In comes the Shadow Muck. Shadow Muck's going to go ahead and take this Hydro Pump, get knocked out. Rest in pieces, but we farm down that. Then in comes the Tentacruel. Are we going to survive this? Yes, it's an Acid Spray, so we're just going to go ahead and go straight for the Shadow Ball to seal this victory.